Dear students of class 10A and 10B, welcome to my history and civics class. In lesson number 1, the War of Independence of 1857, we have understood the basic concept of the lesson. In today's teaching, what I mentioned in the board, please look at it. First point, interference with social customs, apprehensions about modern innovations, policy of racial discrimination, corruption in administration and oppression of the poor. I shall illuminate all the points with examples. I shall clarify the following points by giving a number of examples. In my first point, what I mentioned in the board, interference with social customs. You know, the British introduced many social reforms for the all-round development of the country and country's people. In our country, most of the people were not interested to be a part of their reformation. Whatever things the British reformed, it not pleased the Indian Orthodox people. The Indian Orthodox people were not satisfied with the introduction of a number of reforms the British introduced. For example, the Soti Act was passed in the year 1829. The British passed the Soti Act in the year 1829. The British declared Soti system to be illegal in the year 1829. It harmed the sentiments of the Indian Orthodox people. Secondly, the British passed the Widow Remarriage Act in the year 1846. It also harmed the sentiments of the Indian traditional people, Indian conservative people. So they did not accept it. They accepted it to be a sentimental issue, and hence they were not satisfied with the introduction of such act. And finally, the British introduced Western education among not only men but women also. So this kind of act of the British, the people of India, Indian Orthodox people, they did not accept it. So it harmed their sentiments, and hence, they did not welcome. The people of India did not welcome the reforms of the British. Second point, interference with social customs. Interference with social customs. Apprehensions of interference of social customs I taught. Now second point, apprehension about the modern innovations. Apprehensions of the modern innovations. The British, introduced modern innovations like railways, telegraphs, but it also made the Indian Orthodox people suspicious. There were rumors in the country that the telegraph poles which were erected to hang those who were against the British. It was against those people of India who were against the British rule. Similarly, Orthodox Indians noted that in the railway compartments, the higher castes and the lower castes, the higher castes and lower castes were made to sit side by side. That means there was a discrimination between whites and natives. Both of them, the whites felt insulted, but the natives felt insulted because of the whites. The white insulted the natives and the natives felt insulted. because of the railway compartments, and some railway compartments were reserved for only the white class people. And in that compartments, no Indian was allowed, but only the white British. So this act of discrimination harmed the sentiments of Indian people. And third point, policy of racial discrimination. Policy of racial discrimination, what is it? The British officers were very much arrogant and rude towards the Indians, and they believed that the Indians were inferior to them. The Britishers were superior to the Indians in their culture, in their education, in their habit, in their style, in every sphere of life. The Britishers were superior to the Indians. That's why they had great hatred for the Indian people. They had no respect. Even some Indians who were educated, still they were neglected by the British. They dubbed the Muslim rulers as cruel and unfaithful, and some European historians also wrongly interpreted about some Muslim rulers. They provocated the Muslims against the Hindus and the Hindu rulers against the Muslims. That means their acts of unjust discrimination alienated the British from the Indian masses, because they decided to break the good relationship between the two communities, the Hindus and Muslims. From the very beginning they started doing it. And next point, corruption in administration. Corruption in administration. The policy of corruption, the policy of dishonesty, the policy of discrimination, the policy of negligence helped the British to earn not only lot of money, to make huge wealth for their country, to drain wealth to their country, England, but also to create a number of dishonest officials who became corrupted, and due to their corruption, they also made huge money at the cost of Indian people. The Indian people had no chance to open their mouth against their injustice done to them. That's why their oppression created nation-wide discrimination, nation-wide dissatisfaction among the Indian people, among the Indian masses. Next point, oppression of the poor. Poor people were oppressed by the rich. Poor people who had no money to cultivate, but their lands were there, they were forced to cultivate because of their requirement. They wanted to earn money because of their maintenance of their family members. Although their earnings were not high, but not adequate, but inadequate, but still they had to cultivate because of the maintenance of their family. But for want of money, sometimes they could not cultivate their crop, cultivate their lands, and were forced to go to lend money from the money lenders. The money lenders lent money. Money lenders paid money with high interest, but sometimes some poor people fail to pay not only the interest but the amount of money they lent from them, because of natural disasters like drought, flood, during crops failure due to scorching rays of sun. When they fail to pay the amount of interest imposed on them, they at the same time they decided to make, they could not have any opportunity to manage the money lenders. The money lenders immediately occupied their lands, and these peasants and farmers would become landless peasants, landless farmers. My dear students, it is due to that reason almost all people of India they were resented. They decided to protest against that system, but there was no chance. There was no chance to protest against the British, but it is due to the reason of unjustified, act of the British. The Indian people encouraged the Indian peasants and farmers. Peasants and farmers were oppressed by the British, and as a result of it, a number of people of India, when the Sepoy Mutiny, the first war of independence started against the British rule, that group of people directly encouraged the Indian Sepoys to raise their voice against the British. But not in all parts of India. In some parts of India, they all remained neutral, but there was no aid for the Indian Sepoys, no financial support was there, and as a result of it, the Sepoy Mutiny was suppressed. Later on, I shall discuss about it, my dear students. But the thing is that in India, the group of people who were oppressed by the hands of the British, they now were determined to protest the British rule. They also determined to remove the rule of the British, to overthrow the British rule from our country, India. But it was not possible to them, they realized. Only when they felt that their unity, what unity they expected from all the people of our country, India, their non-cooperation made them fail to achieve success. And it is due to that reason, my dear students, the Sepoy Mutiny was suppressed by the British. But the thing is that in last point, I would like to conclude more few points. Oppression of the poor. How were the poor oppressed? The poor people who were basically peasants and farmers, not only they were oppressed by their money lenders, but they were oppressed by the Britishers also. Some British people who came from their country England to our country India, who came from their country to India, they came with a view to earn a lot of money by misguiding the poor people, poor farmers. Some farmers who were there were cultivating only rice, wheat, maize. These were profitable crops. Some British money maker just came India to misguide the poor farmers. They offered the poor farmers to cultivate only indigo instead of cash crops like wheat, maize, rice, etc., etc. But Indian poor people did not want to cultivate indigo because indigo was not profitable to them. Cultivation indigo was profitable to the Britishers since Indian indigo had great demand in their country England since industrial revolution, since there were many industrial belts in England and many industrial cities needed Indian indigo because of the cotton cloths which were white cotton cloths which were produced from their factories and industries. They wanted to use Indian indigo. That's why they always insisted on some British capitalists and some British young people to come to India and to purchase indigo from this country India for supplying it for their need. As a result of it, so many young Britishers came to India with a few amount of money and invested it for that purpose and forced Indian poor people to cultivate only indigo. With the hunter, they forced them, they tortured them, they oppressed them and forced them to cultivate only indigo rather than wheat, rice, maize, etc., etc. So This act of oppression also uh, also forced Indian people to open their mouth to join Indian sepoys during the first war of independence. The Indian poor people, Indian mass, where the British never thought that Indian mass belonging to poor category would join the Sipais in the first war of independence. But why did they join them? Only because of the British policy of oppression. The poor was oppressed by the British because of their wrong policies, because of their unfair treatment for the Indian poor peasants and farmers, and ultimately Indian poor peasants and farmers were forced to join the Indian sepoys in the first war of independence. So these were the, my dear students, causes of the first war of independence. You must keep it in your mind that these are the causes mentioned, socio-economic causes of the first war of independence: interference with social customs, apprehensions of modern innovations, policy of racial discrimination, corruption in administration, oppression of the poor. So these are the points. These are the points you have to mention as the points of socio-religious causes. So what are the socio-religious causes? Mention any 5 points of the socio-religious causes. In that case, you have to mention one by one: interference with social customs, apprehensions about modern innovations, policy of racial discrimination, corruption in administration, oppression of the poor. So these are the 5 points to be mentioned as socio-religious causes. And next day I shall discuss about activities of the missionaries, fears regarding Western education, taxing religious places, law of property. So these rest 1, 2, 3, 4, rest of the points I shall discuss in my next class. And before that, I do expect that you will be able to understand the concept of this lesson and the points I discussed, I elaborated. Thank you, my dear students. Thank you, all of you.